We're all over the place here at Summer League. There's all kinds of things happening. You just finished watching Celtics Sixers. Well, the Lakers and Clippers are playing each other next behind us. That's going to be on ESPNU. LeBron James and Anthony Davis just walked in the building, and whose hand did they shake? Jerry West. Do you think they said job well done, sir? Where there was some cursing? So. What do you think?
So. No, I think he said job well done. He probably said job well done, you got us.
Right. There you go. I'm Rachel Nichols here with our front office insider, Amin elhassan, and the future Hall of Famer, Vince Carter.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being back with us. We have so much to talk about on this show, but the biggest story, of course, is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George going up to team up with the Clippers. Sorry, Coco. That's the story here.
Yeah.
And look, Vince, I asked you this before we went on the air. This league is so different from when you came into it 22 years ago.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine a player saying, I want that guy who's under contract for 2 more years from another team?
No.
Him going to demand a trade and it all gets done in 24 hours?
I mean, you didn't even think about that. I mean, because you didn't think that was possible. It just wasn't the way of the league. And I honestly, maybe you can help me with this.
Right.
When it actually changed and it became a thing. But, it's just one of those things like, I don't know, back then it's just like, I'm trying to be such, and you would see a superstar on every team.
Yep.
It's a little different.
Right, so I like to always say superstars demanding to get traded away. It's as old as the league, right? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, New York or LA, pick one. Yep. And that's the team he won a championship with, right? So that part isn't new. What's new is the players picking where they want to go and who they want to come with them.
Yeah.
And I think it's got to be 2010, right? It's got to be LeBron and Chris Bosh coming to join Dwayne Wade.
But what about the Lakers with Gary Payton?
In 2000.
But those are free agents joining a team that was already there, and you could make an argument that Gary Payton left a lot of money on the table, but Karl Malone this is going to be his last run pretty much as a player. So I don't think it's quite the same as what we're talking about here, which is what Rachel said. It's not just that he said, I want to play with Paul George. But he's under contract. I don't care.
I don't care. Go get him.
I literally just said that right today on the radio today. I didn't know you could do that.
Right.
I didn't know you could just say, hey, man, he's happy over there, but I think he'd be happier with me.
And there's reporting in the Toronto Star, Bruce Arthur saying that he told the Raptors the same thing, by the way. He said, I want to play with Paul George, so whoever can figure this out. Toronto, though, feeling that LA had the upper hand. You see the potential starting lineup there. Don't forget Patrick Beverley also with that team, right? That team is going to be a defensive force. Montrezl Harrell. You got Lou Will there popping up the shots. We saw the odds to flip on the screen just a minute ago. 7-2 favorites to win the title. Vince, do you buy them as title favorites right now?
I mean, you have to, because defensively alone, they're going to lock down defenders at every position. And then you add Montrezl Harrell, and then whoever you want to put at the 4.
Well, I mean, that's a funny thing. We mentioned Beverly. We mentioned, obviously, Paul George and Kawhi. Mo Harkless is a Clipper, by the way.
Absolutely.
Right,
and he's a heck of a defender, too.
And that was his responsibility, guarding the best player.
Absolutely. So imagine that, by the way, Mo Harkless. You went from having the toughest defensive assignment to you might be 3rd or 4th on the list.
Right,
guys.
between Kawhi and PG and Pat Bev.
And by the way, think about the last super team that we had, the Golden State Warriors. We made so much of a big deal about their shooting and their offense. But they won championships because defensively, they could guard you with Clay. They could guard you with Andre. They could guard you with Durant.
They won championships because of all of it. The offense was good, too.
Along with that defense, they were hitting shots.
They were hitting shots.
Sure. But I think these guys are shot makers, too.
Absolutely. So that's one side of this. Now we talk about the Oklahoma City side, though, because Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Russ and his agent are talking with Thunder GM Sam Presti about the next step of his career. Does he stay in Oklahoma City? Does he leave? Do they try to work out a trade? They have assets now. Do they maybe want to collect some more and just really do a reboot? Russ has 4 years, $171 million left on his contract. So the Thunder are still in the luxury tax, even without Paul George on their roster. So do they want to stay in the luxury tax for a team that's Russ and some younger guys and sort of whatever else they have there? And do they want to be paying Russ nearly $50 million the year he turns 34? But then again, they have to decide if somebody else is going to want to go do that. Vince Carter is here on set. Just look at him. He's got his head in his hands.
Oh, my goodness.
Buried over the idea.
If I was getting $47 million at 34, Lord have mercy.
Living in Oklahoma, by the way.
Well, for now. So my question to you guys is, Vince, from a player's perspective, if you see the direction the franchise is going, do you want out at that point?
Well, first and foremost, I want to know what are they going to do now? Where do we go from here? What is the plan? You made this happen. You allowed this to happen. However you want to word that. What happens now? Because I'm here now. I've been loyal. I've done everything. I've played my butt off, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. What happens now? And then he can choose and dictate from there. All right, well, I need to move on, or we need to get this done now.
Okay, but you saw the contract numbers. I mean, our other teams, on our earlier show, Kendrick Perkins said, I think he'd fit in great with the Heat. I see that. These are big numbers to be talking about.
That's a lot of money. But Rachel, after I said, hey, he's productive and he's healthy, and then we went off air after that, I went back and did the actual numbers. Last 4 seasons, 314 out of a possible 324 games played, averaging over 36 minutes per game. He's got an MVP in that. He's got a couple of top 5
triple doubles, obviously.
He's incredibly productive, and he's healthy. And you might, if you're a team that has its brothers, for instance, the Clippers might say, I don't know, we want Russell Westbrook, and we got these 2 guys. But if you're a team that doesn't have its brothers, you don't have the choice. Beggars can't be choosers. He plays. He's healthy.
Yeah.
He's on the court.
And he's efficient.
And he's good.
Well, here's my question, though. And by the way, I'm one of the people who voted for Russ for MVP. I still stand behind that vote. I think there's so many things Russ brings to the table, right? But I do see, Vince, you're one of the only humans we have witnessed in the league whose athleticism does not decline into their 30s. And his game is built on athleticism. And so I understand why Oklahoma City had to sign him to that Supermax, because they were after Kevin Durant and they needed to get that deal done and re-anchor the franchise, and that went into his MVP year. Other teams don't have all of those extra narrative things going on. Do you think his game is going to be the same at age 33 or 34 when you're paying him $50 million as it is now?
We don't know that. I didn't know if I'll still be the same player, have the same athleticism, but it depends on what he wants out of his game and career. I think with him, he can still find some athleticism and savor the athleticism that he has. When he got injured with the knee, did everybody expect to see rest like this? No, you know what I'm saying? So it's possible that he can keep it. He'll put the work in.
Yep, absolutely. We got to get to our distant replay. It's this date in 2007 featuring Rudy Gay, and we'll be back after this.
Gay, what a move on. Oh, no!
I was like, wow, that's major. Like, that's a major play. It's a major play.
So I'm going to go back to the additions that y'all had this all season. Hassan Whiteside is a guy with a lot of potential. He had high moments in Miami and some low moments. You're considered one of the best leaders in the NBA. You got a player coming in with a reputation. How do you welcome him, and how do you make him feel comfortable in a new environment?
I mean, for me, just accepting him for who he is. You know, you don't want to have a guy come in and then you come at him like you just think you know everything, or boss him around. Me and him, we've already talked, and I told him, I was like, I understand you're going to get mad sometimes. You might not get the ball when you were supposed to. Coach might piss you off. You know, stuff happens. And I was like, regardless if you mad, if I'm upset or whatever, we got to be able to communicate in the midst of that fire or whatever that frustration is, and we'll be better off because of it. But I'm from Oakland, man. I know real crazy people. Like, I've grown up I just know how to like
to adapt
Absolutely. And deal with different types of personalities. Yeah. So it's like, I'm crazy. I'm not crazy, but I'm crazy. It ain't gonna run me off if you snap on me and all that. I'm gonna be like, all right, well, let's talk like men. And I think it's just respectable. I'm gonna respect you, and you respect me, and we can figure it out from there.
We're talking about your history with Portland too. There were rumors at one point, hey, Damian Lillard might ask for a trade, might want to go to LA. Yeah. In the end, you decided, this is the team I want to be with. You've talked about your dedication to the city of Portland a bunch of times. The fact that Anthony Davis did ask for a trade and wanted to go to the Lakers. The fact that Paul George did ask for a trade and wanted to go team up with Kawhi. Yeah. What do you think when you see all of that happening?
I think people, they on the business side, teams decide they done with a player and they make a move, and the thing is, it's business. Everybody say it's business. The team did, and when players do it, it's frowned upon, like they doing something wrong. But just for me personally, I'm not a team up type of person. You know what I'm saying? I've said it in the past, like I would almost just rather if I'm gonna lose trying to do it the way I'm doing it, I can live with that, knowing that I really mean that.
Well, you ain't said it.
That's what I prefer. But
you ain't just say it. You lived it.
Yeah, like that's really how I feel. Yeah. So like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with what guys are doing. You know, when I see it, I kind of get excited about the challenge of it.
Is there
like, okay?
Is there a difference for you between teaming up and recruiting?
I think when you talk about teaming up, it's like teams, like guys plotting on coming to one place. Like, all right, let's all go here and let's do this. But like, if you just adding a piece to your team, like AD going to the Lakers, you add in one of the best players in the game. But if it's like, all right, let's get AD and let's get this dude, and then 4 of y'all end up on the same team, then that's when I'm looking at, like, see, I could never do that. You know what I'm saying?
Is recruiting becoming a bigger part of the NBA? Do you CJ start talking about, okay, we got to go after this guy next summer, we got to work on him through the year, that kind of thing?
Me and CJ don't operate like that. We just be like, when we talk about players that we could get, we'll be like, this guy